Hey, welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a little bit. We actually just recently got back from our big family vacation to Hilton Head Island, and while we were there, we went thrifting, and I want to take you along. The first store we stopped into was the Church Mouse, and we actually have never been here before, not even last year when we did our thrifting adventure, but we are so glad that we stopped in this year. They had a huge variety of high-end home decor and furniture, and we loved looking around. Me and my mom were fighting over this fireplace tool set because we both need a new one. I let her have it though because it definitely fits in with her Tuscan home, and it's just so stunning, and I love the way the tools were organized. I was very impressed by the quality of pillows that were in this thrift store. Typically pillows are not in the best of shape, but this store, all of them were in great condition. This little bowl reminds me of one that I have found before, but this one was only $3. The lamp selection was incredible, and I especially loved this little desk lamp. The white and the brass, it was just so pretty, and looking back, I'm really kind of beating myself up for not grabbing it when I could. It's hard to see, but this coffee table is the exact raw wood coffee table that's really in style right now and kind of hard to find, but I couldn't find a price on this one. Overall, the Church Mouse just had tons of really fun decor, pillows, furniture, and everything was just in great condition. Plus, there was an entire upstairs filled with clothing, so definitely go check them out if you're in the Hilton Head area. Then it was time to move on to one of our favorites from last year, the bargain box. The pricing of the bargain box is what impressed us so much last year. This outdoor food covering was only $2, and I've seen very similar ones on Amazon for up to $20. Their selection of lamps was not quite as fun as the previous one, but I loved this stone and wood looking one. One of the best parts of thrifting is getting ideas. So even though I don't love this plate rack, I love the idea of using a plate rack on a very small wall to display my cookbooks. We could have cried when we found out that all of the furniture this particular day was 50% off. And the reason that makes us want to cry is because we fell in love with this buffet. It was only $275, which means it would be a little under $150 with their sale, and we had no way to get it home. Next, we hopped over to St. Francis Thrift Shop, which was one of our favorites last year as well, because it was one of the most organized thrift stores we have ever been into. They have a huge furniture side of the building, and the furniture is amazing quality. They also had tons of art, and I kind of fell in love with this set of art prints, or maybe even want to recreate some of these prints. I love the florals and the vessels combined. It kind of seemed right up my alley. These just seemed a little too mass-produced for my personal taste, but I definitely love the inspiration I got from them. We were once again impressed by how organized this place is. Even the books were categorized by topic, and everything is organized by type of knick-knack, plate, dish. It's just really satisfying to see. I fell in love with this beautiful floral brass mirror. And then it was time to move on to the next store. This one was called the Litter Box, and it was another new one to us, and we were a little skeptical, but it actually really delivered. There was tons of glassware and plates and table settings. I love this napkin holder. And then there was an entire back room filled with furniture, pots, lamps, lighting, books, games, you name it. And there was also tons of pet stuff. I fell in love with this crock. I could not believe it was only $5. And so, I probably brought that home with me. The last thrift store that we stopped in was called Osprey Village, and it was another new one to us, and we really loved looking around, but it was kind of odd because some of the items would be really expensive, and then others were super cheap. So we didn't really understand their pricing structure, but it was still fun to look around. They had tons of hardware, and all of their furniture was 50% off, which is why I literally almost cried when we found this giant buffet. We have been looking for something that is super long like this for our dining room, and this one was solid wood. I loved everything about it. I loved how rustic it was. I loved the length. I loved all the storage in it. And it was $1,600, which means it was only $800 for this giant solid wood piece of furniture that we couldn't get home. Okay, I have so many goodies from this thrift trip. We went to, I think it was like 4 or 5 different thrift stores down there all in one day. And I love these thrift stores because you can tell that you're on an island, that there's a lot of people coming in and out that don't necessarily live there. So there's just a huge variety of things in these thrift stores. But let's just get into the haul. Okay, the first thing was this, and I don't know the proper term for it, but I do know that it is used to keep flies off of your food outside. And I've seen several YouTubers actually buying these new off of Amazon recently, and I love the idea of it. I love the idea of setting up like a big, beautiful spread outside. Haven't done it yet, but I love the idea of it. And so when I saw this for $2 in great condition, I picked it up so that way I can at least still like pretend I'm gonna have a dinner party outside. But seriously, I just thought that that was such a good deal, considering I think these are like 15-20 bucks on Amazon. I've not looked that up, but I think that might be right. So yeah, I just thought that that'd be a really cool thing to have. Okay, this next one was actually one of Josh's finds. He loves all things clocks, timepieces, things like that. And I have to say, I actually really like this too. Look at this. Is that not the most beautiful hourglass you've ever seen? And then you can like flip it like this. Is that not so pretty? I love the wood. I love the brass details. I just thought it looked so elegant, and I think it's perfect for like a home office or something, or a library. Can you imagine? It's just beautiful. The wood detail is beautiful. It's beautiful. I've never seen a prettier hourglass, and it was only $12 at the thrift store. It's heavy. And so I just was like, yes, absolutely. We're bringing that home, and we'll find a home for it because that's just the coolest thing. I absolutely love it. So, like I said, $12 for this hourglass. Such a cool find. Okay, this is in no particular order, by the way. I do not remember what came from which thrift store, but I did find a book at one of them, and it was only $2. And this is actually a book that's been on one of my reading lists. It's called The One Thing, and it's about how to get the most results out of doing the least amount of like busy work, just prioritizing things. And so, I mean, it's been on my reading list for a while, and so when I saw it for $2, I was like, yep, let's bring that home. And then I found quite a few vessels for the candle collection, so I'll try to go through those quickly and not harp on them, but they're so pretty. So here's the first one. It's a drinking glass, but it was like all by itself, and I thought it was the perfect candle holder because it sits up off of the table, but it's a great size, and I was just like, that's gonna be stunning. So I picked that up for the candle collection, which is coming so soon. Like, I'm actually planning out the launch emails and things like that now, so like it's getting so close. But make sure you're signed up for the B.Mail Club. I'll leave the link in the description. That way you're the first to know when that comes out. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm just gonna blow through the rest of these real quick. But so pretty, and this collection is just gonna be so good. Okay, and another one. I told you in the last collection, this was one of the most popular ones, and I found another one. So now I have 2 of these clear ones and one that is solid white. So there's a really good chance you can get your hands on this gorgeous candle. Another double-handled cutie. Another one that is really, really similar to this taller one, but this guy is just a little deeper. So pretty. Both of them are going to make beautiful candles. Another double-handled cutie. I do not have any that are like this. I love the wave. Can you see that wave at the top? The way that it just like kind of dips, and the handles, so stinking cute. I love the little bubble and like the little rings. I love this. I have not found anything like this, and so you know I had to grab it for the candle collection, but yeah, so cute. I picked this one up because it was really pretty. It had this really delicate etching in it, and if you look at it, it's actually not completely symmetrical, which tells me that there's a good chance it was probably handmade. I don't quote me on that, but if you look, it really is kind of wonky, and so that tells me that it definitely wasn't like a factory made thing, so that makes it even more special in my opinion. Okay, I'm trying to get through all the candles first. Look how cute this one is. I love the shape of it. I love how it almost is like a pineapple, but like in a classy way. And then it just has some really pretty details. I just thought it was a really unique shape, and so I picked it up. This one is slightly larger than my other vessels, but I thought that it would make a good mid-size candle. It has a really cool pattern on it, and again, it'd make a really great size candle. I think it'd be really pretty. So I'm adding this one into the collection, and again, this will be on the larger side. Like most of the candles are going to be more this size, so this will be one of the larger ones. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is going to be another larger one. It has everything. The size, the detail, the double handle, the lid. This is going to be in the collection. An amazing mid-size candle. I'm in love with this vessel. It's stunning. I love everything about it. It has all my favorite features. The only feature that it's missing that I love is little feet, but it's beautiful. So I had to grab this for the collection too. Okay, I think that is it for the candle collection. Now let me get into the haul for me. I loved this little mirror. So pretty. It has like the most beautiful brass floral detail. It has a little kickstand, so it'd be so pretty on like a nightstand or on a vanity. And I just could not leave it for $3. It was just so pretty. And while we're talking about brass, I got this little dish, which I didn't need, but I love it. I just thought it would be so pretty on like a nightstand as a ring dish, or maybe in a kitchen to hold soap or to hold your rings by the sink while you're washing. Just so stinking pretty. I love the detail of the etched brass right there. I loved everything about it, and for $2, I could not leave this really pretty brass piece behind because I'm a sucker for brass. I was on a brass kick, so I found this guy, and I actually don't think this is brass, even though it's brass colored, but it's really light. I think it may be more of a tin or an aluminum, but it's really reminiscent of a brass bowl that I found recently that I left behind because it was just too pricey and I really didn't need it. But this one was only $3. And so I was like, okay, that's my sign to bring this one home. So I did. And this is going to make a great centerpiece on a coffee table. Maybe put some Christmas ornaments or something in it. We'll see. I just absolutely love it. I love the shape of it, and like I said, it really reminds me of that one that I found recently, and I loved it, and I was about to grab it, but it was just a little too expensive for a whim, which is what my need for it is, so I decided to leave it, and I'm really glad that I found this $3 version instead. Look how beautiful this is, okay? I find versions of this all the time, but they're usually not in as great shape. They're usually really dingy, and I love that this one still had the gold, where a lot of these usually kind of look more silver to me, but it is stunning. And I loved the thought of this on like a bathroom counter or in a guest bedroom on a desk or a vanity or something to put, you know, maybe a guest shampoo, you know, I just thought it would be so pretty for styling. So I picked it up, and it was $2, and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. But yeah, like I said, I don't always go for these, even though I find versions of it pretty often, but I just couldn't leave this one behind, especially since it was only $2. And so I would love to be able to use it to style, like I said, in a guest bedroom or something, but it's just so pretty. And I just felt really inspired while I was out on this thrift trip, and so I decided to pick it up, even though I've kind of passed on some of these in the past. But yeah, it just spoke to me today. Okay, and the last thing that I have from this thrift trip is this guy. And before I tell you, just take a wild guess how much I paid for this in the comments. Okay, I paid $5 for this. $5. It is heavy. And what sold me is that it actually has the holes drilled into the bottom, which means I can put a plant in here and it will have proper drainage, which I love. I love the color, I love the double handles, and while I definitely don't need more Crocs, I'm not really on the hunt for them anymore. When I saw this one for $5, I just couldn't leave it behind because I knew I could use it for a plant, especially after I just started trying to move my plants around and realized I don't have enough mid-size plant holders. So loved this and just thought it was such a great find. That is my thrift haul from vacation. Most of it was more candle holders for you guys. I've just really found some amazing ones. I'm getting so excited for the collection that's coming up. Make sure to sign up for the B.Mail Club if you have not already, so that way you're the first to know when the collection comes out. I'm actually going to be sending out some information on it within the next couple of weeks, so make sure you're signed up for that. And yeah, let me know which piece was your favorite, whether it's a candle holder that you have your eye on, or if it was one of my brass pieces from my own little thrift haul. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future thrift hauls, and I will see you so soon in the next one. Bye. Ramble, I know you like to be a part of the hauls, but Mommy really needs to do this. Do you mind coming over here?